So I've changed my theory a little bit based on something I just seen a little while ago on YouTube. Here's a video of a 747, probably heavy, fully loaded. Look what he's doing to the Earth over here as he rotates. He's lifting and ripping it up like a lot. So my initial analysis was if you looked at the video of the 787 as he was getting to the end of the runway, you can see him picking up a lot of dust. And then I then calculated that he was pretty close to the end. See all that dust there? He's a mile and a half away, keep in mind. So that's a lot of dirt he's kicking up. So I was speculating that he may have ran off the end of the runway and ingested some debris or stones, and that's what started causing the problems. And the reason I came to that theory is I identified where that CCTV camera was located based on going very, very close to looking at the markings from the video and then going on Google Ground and finding a tower where it looked like there was a CCTV camera. And then the shed, and this is the spot where the camera was, and that's the shed. And if you draw a line between the two for line of sight, this is where he was when he was rotating. And, he's dangerously close to the end of the runway. So my initial thought was, you know what? He got himself, however, he did it probably from miscalculations of runway numbers and V-speed calculations, weight and balance, etc. I'm sure they didn't calculate having to rotate this far down the runway. Had they known they were going to be here when they rotated, I'm assuming they wouldn't have done it or would have done something differently. But anyway, as it turned out, they're here when they start to rotate, somewhere around here. I mean, give or take, somewhere between there and there when they started to rotate. It takes 2,000 feet from the time they start to rotate till the time the wheels come off the ground. That's about 2,000 feet from there to there. So I was speculating that he could have either ran right off or partially ran off, picked up some debris, ingested it into the engines, and that started the chain of events of a one engine loss, and then a partial on the other. That's what I was thinking. That seemed to check all the boxes because it does look like the plane is yawing to the right. And also he did have a good initial positive ascent of about 2,400 feet a minute. I calculated how long it took him to get from the ground to 400 feet, which is there because his wingspan's 150. And that's 2 and a little wingspans off the ground. So I figured he was about 400 feet off the ground. Took him 10 seconds from liftoff to there. That's 2,400 feet a minute ascent, very normal. But then right around here, he starts to have a problem. I'm thinking, okay, he ingested something. It took a little while for that ingestion to screw the engine up. He still had some close to full thrust in the meantime. He gets up to here. He loses one partially on the way to there. Then he loses the other one. The reason I don't believe he had full power loss, even though the ROT was deployed and they say you need full power loss to have the ROT deployed, I just don't buy that he doesn't have any power because this descent rate from 400 feet down to the time he hit the ground is 20 seconds. That's 1,200 feet a minute descent rate. That's just a little more than what a normal final approach descent rate of a jetliner is, which is around 700-800. That's 1,200. It's a little more. If he had zero power, he would not be coming down that gradually, and he would not have a nose-up attitude. To maintain a nose-up attitude like this that you see here with 1,200 feet, with only 1,200 feet a minute descent, you have to have some power. So I'm still not convinced he had a full power loss, and it does look to me like he's yawing to the right, so that tells me that he's getting more power from the left. Yet, on the other hand, he crashes left of the runway center line. So that's another baffling thing. But again, density, altitude, V number, miscalculations. I think the conditions that day, close to full gross weight. I think all those factors are going to come into play. I think that's going to come into play as to how he got in this situation in the first place, this far down the runway before he started to rotate. But again, until we get the CVR and the FDR, nobody's really going to know. It's all speculation. I haven't really heard a lot of really good speculations from all the quote experts quote online so far.